Hey guys, good morning. So interesting setup in the SPY now. We're getting to an area that's getting really tight, and I think that we're probably going to go down to test this lower channel at the very least. The thing is, everybody's so accustomed to the market just selling off and then rebounding and going higher, and this has been the pretty much protocol for many years now, especially in this last year with all these negative things coming out, black swan events, and nothing seems to be able to break the market, but that's all fine and dandy. The problem is as you start to push up technically to higher highs and stretch valuations, that it gets harder and harder to get those V bounces where you just make a new high every time. One of these is going to catch traction and pull back to a longer term trend line. We've had these two intermediate channels that have kind of done similar patterns. We had the V drop, you have the bounce, and then you have a little bit of a consolidation, then a dip back to the intermediate term trend line before another retest. So this is a very similar pattern that we're having here. Another channel, this hump here, and then a test along the trend line there is very similar to this in here. And then you have your V pullback. This one stayed under longer than 3 days, and once you get back over the 30, you're in the clear. But then once again, 3 days gets you vulnerable. We did spend 3 days under here, so we're in a little bit of a tight spot here. We need to get back over. I'm very cautious on the market right here, despite today's futures being up just slightly. What I'm looking for, and if I zoom in, I'll show you in a little bit, is a retest of this lower line, which isn't much lower than where we're at right now, but definitely, lower than where we're going to open up this morning. So I'm a little cautious. Obviously, overriding themes are going to push higher than what the market's doing on a macro level, like Tesla's huge pullback. We're riding along that trend line. We've made some nice buys, 3010, 308, and I think we can sell probably in the 320s. We'll see how it shapes up this morning, though. But I am looking for a little bit more of a pullback in the market here, and if we don't get it, I'll probably set up a short, and I'm looking probably at TZA again. It's been my little weak spot that I've been picking on, but we'll see how it plays out. If we get up and we kind of get over the 30 intraday, I may set up a short where I'm buying TZA in the low 16s, and I'll set a stop on it because I do think we have one more leg now, just to wash out these guys that are uncertain here and on which direction the market's going to go, because I do think we need to have a little bit more of a flush on the weak hands. Here's a bit of a tighter look on the IWM, the TZA that I'm kind of picking on. Today's going to be an important day. We could put a wick through the 22 is what I've been using. I'm not trying to split hairs here, but it's a little bit tighter than the 20. It kind of rides along some areas that I like to see, opening and closing touches, and then we touch the wick on Friday there. But these are two channels I'm looking at. I think we need to retest this just like we do on the S&P, the lower levels on the IWM. So if we get over here and we look like we can't hold it, or I might just purchase some TZA if we do get over that level into this just under the 140 150 area, I believe it is, which isn't much from where we're at right now. I might set up a short with a closing stop, maybe just something tight, 140 180 140 190. I don't think it's going to be that easy to get over the 142 and hold an IWM. In fact, I'm looking, like I said, for another pullback here, just to flush out these weak hands that are kind of guessing on which way the market's going to go, riding with the algos. And here's a tighter look at our IWM chart without the moving average. We're in a crucial spot, just like we are on the S&P 500 SPY. And once again, I take out these outliers. 1 and 2 days moves don't really matter to me. To me, time is very important when you're charting. And then back, taking a look at the SPY chart, very tight here in this triangle formation. The 30 SMA has been our top area that's been hard to hold, at least on a close. And here's your bottom channel line, just a little bit lower than where we're at right now. Then basically looking for a test of that 240 area, obviously time correlated, and we're kind of still on an upward trend, so that changes day by day, but I think we're going to test that 240, maybe even a little bit lower. We'll see how it plays out. Obviously there's setups both ways with tight stops. Here's our SPXY chart, always trying to move up unless the market's in a precipitous fall. It's been a little bit weaker lately, not so easy to play, but the pattern's similar. The channels are still in this upward parallel line, so we're looking for somewhere around 160 to top out, but obviously that 157 was our first target that we were looking at on SPXY. If you bought the 150 lower end, I think we even stretched into the 149s late last week, but 157 was a target we thought we could hit Friday. A little bit of trepidation, I guess, going into the weekend, and it looks like we're going to tag it today. But top of the channel is just under 160 here. Like I said, it won't be easily achieved. It's been a little bit less energy on these bounces lately. It's kind of got me worried. I call it the bouncing ball. Every time we've pulled back from these V's, the correlation S&P 500, even though the SPY can make new highs, it's harder for SVXY unless you're, really moving with a lot of energy. So it's a little bit of a fade here on the SVXY, and it kind of gives UVXY a little bit of support. Other than the time, erosion in the leverage ETFs on the VIX model structure, it looks like UVXY is probably going to still kind of hang around a little bit here. And SPXY tends to run along a 62 SMA within this 1 year time frame. That changes obviously as you go back in time, and probably will change as we go further on. But you can see the little energy areas under it, and once you get back over it, you're running along these lines. You're in the momentum line in your middle channel, and then here's your lower channel line, which lined up nicely if you bought the day that we were tanking. Actually, I was buying all the way down until that point. Then we got the huge rebound. Really nice rebound. I mean, very similar to this one, but we did it all in 1 day. It was amazing. So, SPXY is becoming a little bit ominous here with the slow moves up. We call it stairs up, elevator down. So just be cautious. If you're hanging in there and you're looking for the higher points, you got to get out quick, just like with UVXY. Tables have kind of turned just a little bit, so we're cautious here on the buy and hold in SPXY. We're waiting for the big dips and then buy, and then we sell strength. That pattern kind of continues. I'm going to look at a few individual stocks that I think are interesting. That are just kind of overpowering the market theme here. So a couple of them are speculatives. So obviously, trade with caution. And I'll bring those out in the next email.